This is a story about a time traveler who actually, by trying to go back in time, admitted to his own murder. Okay. All right. So we've got Will Hargrove. So Will Hargrove is just an over romantic, and he's a little bit of a geek, and he hasn't had much luck with the whole ladies. But he likes sci-fi. He likes Doctor Who, like all of that. I love that too. So he loves all that. So he's kind of obsessed with that. And with that, he hasn't had a lot of dating life, so he decides to try his luck on online dating. And then that's where he meets this girl from Russia. Her name is Anna, and he tells Anna, "Hey, for your plane ticket to come out here." And so she does, and she meets up with them. And so Anna's been through a lot of terrible relationships, and she still just believes in true love, love at first sight, all of that. So they go out there, they have like 2 dates. She's here for a week in Oregon, and Will actually is like, I don't want to lose this girl. This girl is like perfect for me. So he actually proposes to her, and she says yes. And so she ends up going back to Russia, getting some of her stuff packed, and they decide that they're going to live in Oregon with him. And they're going to live in their place. They're going to go ahead and get married on the beach and, live there happily ever after, right? Okay. So she is coming back from Russia once again, has all of her stuff packed, and she's really excited. They're about to, have their first time in their apartment together as a couple. And so they decide that, you know what? They're going up to the house, and then all of a sudden, the landlord, Michelle, is looking kind of stern and pissed off. And Will's like, I don't know what her problem is. I paid rent this month. I'm not sure what's going on. And so he tells Anna, he's like, Anna, hold on 1 second. Go upstairs and unpack. I'm going to go ahead and talk to her, right? Okay, so she goes ahead and talks. He goes ahead and talks to her. She's unpacking, and he comes up, and she notices that he has like a really sad, stern face. And she's like, "Why? What's going on? What's wrong?" And apparently, Will's like, "Well, my landlord Michelle has a big crush on me, and apparently she's pissed that you're here, and we have to move out." And she's like, "Well, isn't she like married?" Like, and he's like, "Yeah, she is, but we still have to move out." And so she's kind of devastated by this, but she notices that Will is too, and that it's not his fault. And they're like, you know what? We will figure it out. We will find a new place. So they do. They end up finding a new place to stay. And then they're on the beach about a week later, going to get married. And they have a couple of their friends that are meeting them at the beach to, witness them get married. And she's in her wedding dress, all waiting for him. And he's a little late. And she's like, what's taking him so long? And then she notices he's on the phone with someone, and then he comes up and he looks really solemn again, like really sad and upset. And she's like, "What's going on?" And she's like, "Well, apparently the officiant had to cancel, so they can't get married." And she's like, "Well, that really kind of sucks, but that really sucks. But again, at the same time, I understand, and I can't really blame him for doing that." So she goes ahead and it's like, well, let's just make the best of it. So she even makes a joke saying that, like, because they went to McDonald's on their wedding night, and she kind of makes a joke about it, saying like, "Oh, it's kind of funny that we're in our wedding dresses. I'm in my wedding dress and getting McDonald's." So, and then after that, the day after that, he's like, you know what, let's go ahead and let's just like take a walk up in the woods, and I want to show you how beautiful this is, right? Okay. So, he goes up and tells her, and they go up and they walk in the woods, and he drops this bombshell on her and says, I don't know if I want to get married to you. And she's like, what do you mean you don't know if you want to get married to me? Like, we literally just tried to have the officiate like last week. And so like, this is a huge just bombshell that's being dropped on her. She's like, I moved out here from Russia to be with you. Like, and then you're just going to go ahead and say all of this. And she's trying to process everything. And she just like walks off. She walks off and is just trying to, clear her head for all of this. And then after that happened, Will spends 3 days like staying up straight and just researching online on how to build a time machine. He actually has like blueprints and everything. Come to find out too, he's actually asked a few people for spells for to go back in time, saying that he had a friend that did something wrong and that he wanted to, help him fix it. He claims too that like Michelle claimed that she wanted to be with him, and that's why he made up the thing about getting married and losing the efficient. And then he's like, no, I actually really want to be with Anna, and so I need to go back and fix things. Come to find out too, Michelle was really upset. That ring that he gave her, Anna, turns out that was Michelle's ring. She gave to him because she was having an affair with him, and she was promising that she was going to leave her husband for him by giving him her ring. And then he gives her ring to his fiance. Yep. Police come knocking on Will's door, and they take him down for questioning. And they're like, did you have like KFC in the last week or so? And he's like, yeah, every Thursday I go with my brother. Every single Thursday, and we go when we have KFC. It's like clockwork. And they're like, okay. And he's like, why? What does that have to do with anything? Well, come to find out that when Anna walked away, when he dropped that huge bombshell on her, he opened up his trunk, had a shotgun, and right in the back of the head before Anna even saw anything coming. And then he didn't want any of her stuff with him besides her credit card. He took her credit card and then took a whole bunch of stuff, including trash, and laid it all next to her, including a KFC bag that had the receipt with his name on it. So he comes up and he confesses to the murder. What's interesting, though, is about 6 months later, he then retracts his statement of murdering her and is saying that Michelle murdered her instead of him. Said that it was a rage thing and that Michelle met them out there, followed them, was a stalker, and then killed her. The problem with that is Michelle's fingerprints are not on the gun. It's not on any of the trash or any of her belongings. So it couldn't have been her. It could have only been Will. I'm interested to hear you guys' theories and thoughts on this. Also, if dating can be rough, and it's good to know the person that you're dating. So that's why I like to use Truth Finder. So Truth Finder actually allows you to do background checks on pretty much anyone for personal use. And you can see too if anyone's ever been charged with any domestic violence or anything like that. So it's always good to look out for yourself and make sure that you are protected, especially when you're in the dating scene. So feel free to check out Truth Finder. Their link is in the bio here. And and if you guys like this, please feel free to subscribe, like, comment, rate wherever you're at. As always, just keep fucking going.